Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
It's about to get verbal.
I don't know if I like that being the opening
By way
of
of
this.
communication and abuse.
You boys ready to lock and load? It's finna get verbal in here.
We ain't pulling any punches.
Oh, man. And you thought the title of the previous movie was long or wasn't to your liking. Tonight, we watched Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower.
Yes.
It's a mouthful. It's a lot to type out.
It's so good.
It's really good, dude. So apparently, I forgot that we did an episode on... Is the first one just called Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt?
December Sky.
December Sky is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
What a cool name.
Yeah.
We did an episode on that one.
The funny thing is we watched the second one first, and then I showed you the first one.
I swear I feel like you try your best to put me through the most back-ass words way of doing this. Wait, are we past the minute mark?
I have no idea.
We are back-ass words way of
Back-ass words.
yeah, of getting through something.
Ugh.
I wouldn't be surprised
It's
if
not even that I try. It's just like, oh man, he'd probably like this.
Let me go ahead and just introduce you to this midway
chronological
point.
order just doesn't occur to me anytime I
No.
want to watch something.
I think realistically, you just go like, "Ooh, that's pretty,"
Yeah.
and then you show it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, when does this happen? You're like, oh, this is actually the climax of the film. I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So anyways, with all that being said,
All right.
there are a few...
See, I've got all these ideas of like watch order in my head for these different series.
Yeah.
Not that I ever put them into practice, mind you, but I do know good ways to go about digesting them.
Well, the first thing out the gate for this movie,
Mm-hmm.
for this anime film, it has such a interesting art style.
Yeah.
It feels like a new Gundam, but it doesn't quite feel like Hathaway.
Yeah.
Like Hathaway has like its own like damn, that's a pretty movie.
Mm-hmm.
But even this like is very detailed. It looks very nice and it feels very modern and it's
Beautiful.
super cool and I love it. And it's got I have to say, probably a hot take.
Oh boy.
People probably won't like it. I'm not the biggest fan of free jazz.
You fucking disgrace.
No.
How dare you?
Now hold up.
Get
now
out.
hold up. I love jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I love jazz. My music mentor was like a full gospel like jazz musician.
Right.
So I like more structured jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever it gets into free jazz is when it kind of feels like it's off to me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think I'm a little too structured of a musician.
Mm-hmm.
So when they start like I'm like
Right.
I get that there is like that there's a
method to the madness.
there's a method, there's a talent to that, but I don't hear that. I'm like, it just sounds like you're banging on a keyboard, like a
Right.
little bit. There are moments in that where I feel like it can be really good, but I've noticed it's always when they get structured again, where and it feels more rhythmic, and I'm like, okay, now it feels more like music.
Yeah.
That's just a
It's
personal
the back
preference.
and forth.
But there is a moment in particular in this film where it is I don't know. I guess you would consider it a montage.
You talking about Groovy Duel?
No. It is the moment when it's totally smooth jazz. It's all like that slow, like low tempo. It's a really good feel, and it's like they're I want to say it's like after a battle and like after all this stuff's going on, in like the snow and everything. So like there's like a lot of like casualties and stuff, and it just has like this super cool feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It also kind of feels a little somber, and it's just it hits home for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, it just because it feels less like smooth jazz and like the coffee house style, and more so in just like the
something you might hear if you're just sitting at a bar.
Somber. It has that somber, that melancholy feel, and like because of like the context, you're like, oh man, this is kind of sad, but also like kind of a vibe. Like I feel like I should be looking out of a window while it's raining, like that's the kind of feel. It's like, man,
good stuff.
Yeah. So, but again, this film and the music is a give and take for me.
Yeah.
There's so many great moments, and there's so many moments from like, I love this because it is intrinsically a battle sequence.
Oh yeah.
With like chaotic free jazz. So I'm like, the premise, dude,
it works.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Is it my favorite genre of music? No, but in the context and in this whole atmosphere, I'm like, this is cool. This is fun, and it's wild, and it's like, it feels a little bit, especially in the previous one. I think we talked about it. At least I hope we did.
Definitely. I'm sure we did.
It's like there's like those the iconic jazz in, or the iconic sound in December Sky, the first one, is that the trumpets and it's like doing these like wicked runs and stuff. This one feels more like in the piano aspect of it, I feel like, but super cool. Very different from anything, especially like anime. Like it's a cool take. But what about you?
Sound design.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this whole fucking movie,
the whole thing,
is the way everything sounds.
Yeah.
Because it perfectly drives home the weight of these machines.
Yes.
And I'm a sucker for like the slow, like real heavy, clunky aspect of these things, especially like in the hand-to-hand combat scenarios. Anytime like a suit is punched, there's that really like hefty metallic clang.
The thump.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
The footsteps, that classic sound you always hear accompanying Zaku's mostly.
Oh, yeah.
Or any other type of Zeonic mobile suit. Always a favorite.
Really good.
Speaking of, what was your favorite mobile suit in this film?
I'm
going to give you that whole favorite character caveat in the sense that it cannot be the Atlas.
Then I'm already accurate.
Come on now.
The thing is, I would say a couple of the Acguys or the Gogg. There's a couple of them that look really nice and had like a good design. They had like a really good facelift. Yeah, I mean that's hard. You're really painting me in a corner. Like if I can't pick the Atlas, because I mean, hands down, out of this whole film, the Atlas feels like the quintessential Gundam, where it feels like it steps on the scene and all of a sudden everything's like quaking at its boots. And I like that.
It's perfect.
But I love the fact that it has these like I almost want to call them wings,
skis.
Yeah, skis or something. It has like these little thrusters on. Imagine out of like the left and right shoulder, there's like these arms that shoot out, and it's like this parallel ski, for lack of a better term, with like two rockets on either side of it, and there's one on either side, and they can like articulate almost beneath the feet.
Right.
And like you can
fly. Hover midair if you wanted to.
Dude.
You could just hop on top of them.
There's a moment in the snow scene where he's like fully kitted out with like a shield and like the freaking badass railgun.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love the railgun in this.
The best part of that suit.
Super cool. But there's a moment whenever he puts the shield underneath him and he pulls like a Legolas move where he he puts the two skis on either side and they like attach into the shield.
And it is now a sled.
And I'm like, bruh, that's cool.
Yeah. Extra bit of functionality.
Right. But I do love, like, again, from a far distance, he shoots this railgun and it actually is like a slug thrower. It's like a projectile.
Oh yeah.
it's not like
no beam weaponry,
right.
other than his beam sabers to speak of.
And so he's throwing out slugs at these guys, and of course, there's one guy gets hit, and I mean, it just with such swift efficiency obliterates his suit, and one guy's like, "What?
Was that a fucking projectile?"
And then, of course, as he finishes the statement, bam! Just his suit gets caved in, and again, like Dylan was saying, the sound design, it's like upon ejecting this, like. How would you consider that? It's like a three-way.
It's definitely not bullet shaped.
No, it's like a three-way, like a. I don't want to say triangle, but like it has it's like a tri-tipped disc of some kind, and it like as it hits out, you're like, oh shit, that thing is like lobbing those guys,
right? Almost like he's throwing anvils at these guys.
Exactly. And the way that it makes contact with those poor
pipe sound effect.
I wish I had that.
Oh, that'd be
queued
so
up.
good.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
God, that's basically what happens.
That's what it feels like. And man, it's so good. Like he was saying, whenever it hits those things, it feels guttural. It feels just this
obliterated.
Yeah. So yeah, especially as opposed to like the scene that happens just before he gets there, and these suits are like, they're makeshift amphibious suits up against real amphibious Zaku's. So it's like they're really at a disadvantage. These guys like moving around and slipping through the water, and they're just getting like crushed underneath icebergs, and it's like, like it's looking bad. And
they're still spec'd out for like aquatic combat, but I mean,
right,
GMs as a standard were mainly used for like space combat,
right,
which isn't too dissimilar, but I mean, I'd say the only suit really pulling its weight in there was the Aqua gun cannon,
right. And I guess that's what I meant. Like when I said like makeshift, it's like they're making do with what they have,
right?
And it's not bad, but man, up against
they're just not on their home.
The
Xeon have a home field advantage. They're the ones who definitely like went really hard into amphibious.
They put all their perk points into amphibious vehicles.
The Zoc, bro.
The Zoc, dude.
The Shrek of Xeon.
Oh man, I thought that was Xeon.
No. The Xeon would be. God, what would that fucker be?
Fairy godmother.
Oh Jesus! It's got the skirt for it. That's for damn sure.
You're right. The legless being.
Right. But man, as soon as that thing debuted, it was like in the jungles. I think it was at Jaburo or on the way to Jaburo.
Yeah.
But man, that thing was nuts.
Super cool.
It's still. It's hard to say it's intimidating whenever you bring up a picture of the thing because it has quote unquote legs that the thing hovers everywhere. It doesn't walk.
Yeah.
It's got these big ass arms with claws. Xeon really loves their claws.
Oh, they love claws.
And it's mainly got like a shit ton of beam weaponry, like big ones too.
Right.
I can't see, like, it's like if they made a howitzer.
Yeah.
And gave it useless legs and just a pair of arms.
Yeah.
In case anything got close.
Right.
But I think design-wise, the Zoc is very endearing to me in the same way that a Gogg would be.
Yeah.
Just a big chubby dude that has some really cool weapons.
Yeah.
But just like, I mean, you look at these things and you wonder what the design process was. Like, how can we... like, I can only assume they made him so big just to withstand like the pressures of the aquatic environment. But I mean, you look at him and he's just he's so funny looking.
He looks like a cartoon character.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cemented itself as one of my favorite designs through sheer goofiness alone.
Yeah, guys.
Oh God, don't even get me started on what those fuckers used to look like.
Yeah. They're still like little teddy bears.
Right. In this
It's
film,
crazy.
however, they are gorgeous.
Oh, they're super cool.
Absolutely beautiful.
Even the Gogg got a facelift.
Oh yeah,
They're
slimmed down a bit in
yeah.
a few areas, made a bit bigger in most. Like it's
really
so
nice.
nice.
I like the fact that it's been a while since I have. Wait, okay, I got derailed for a 2nd.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at pictures of the Zoc,
Yeah.
and you're telling me that there's a mobile fortress Zoc.
Yes, from the Thunderbolt.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Where was that at?
He's in the manga after.
Oh, and dude, he's got little compartments for Acguys.
Yes, dude.
Get out of town, dude. Whoa,
It's beautiful, man.
that's actually legit.
Yeah, it's amazing. See, that's the use I may have expected out of something that big.
Yeah. I like that with the mobile fortress. What you would consider his legs, quote unquote, actually like to have a pretty good use.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a carrier transport as opposed to those little stubby guys
Right.
he originally has.
It's almost no contest between the two.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like the only reason you would bring a Zoc on the field if there's something big that you need to kill. But you better believe your ass is going to be stuck on escort duty for that thing.
You want to look at this cool piece of artwork I just found of the Zoc?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Look at that.
See, that's nicer. That's much better.
I found like
That looks more.
It looks like a hand painted like a piece of artwork.
Yeah,
of,
nice
like, the
mural.
Zoc. Yeah,
Paying
of it,
tribute to our
Yeah.
Lord and Savior, the Zoc.
the Zoc. Anyway, as I was saying before,
I can't expect anyone to take us seriously talking about the naming conventions for Zeonic mobile
I mean,
suits.
hey,
Like Zaku is one thing, but fucking Zoc,
Acguy, Gogg,
Acguys.
Oh, not the Aggu guy,
Jesus.
the Google Gaga guy,
The Gelgoog.
Oh, not the Gelgoog.
Yes.
You can't hit me with the Gelgoog.
Oh.
I gotta look up that one. That's been a while since I've seen that one.
Oh yeah. Classic.
Oh, super cool.
Cantankerous calves, McGee.
Yeah, dude, with that freaking double-edged sword.
Lest we forget the Dom.
Oh, Dom.
Mm-hmm. Figure skating machines of death.
Gelgoog looks like Darth Maul if he was a if he was a what you call it?
A mobile suit.
Yeah, Zaku.
Dude. How about
I'm not gonna lie, the Doms are. I love the color scheme of the Doms.
my favorite iteration of the Dom is the Dom Tropin that we see in Stardust Memory
Yeah,
on that first attack in Torrington base, dude. That thing is, I love it so much.
it is cool. You don't talk about Cantankerous calves.
Yeah.
Boy's got some chunks.
There was also the Dom Barrage. If you remember me gushing about that thing.
All right, let me see.
Yeah.
Dom Barrage.
Mm-hmm.
Dom Perignon.
Right.
Oh, that's the guy with the huge plate skirts in the front. Yeah,
That act as missile launchers.
bruh. That's you talk about legs. That guy's got freaking feet.
Mm-hmm. He cannot use them. He hovers.
Really,
Yeah.
bro? What?
And that's all.
Why have them?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What's the point?
That's how Xeon did not enjoy legs.
Mm-mm. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Build it again.
Right.
Legs.
This time, none.
Yeah.
Legs are just for show.
Yeah. That's
The
funny.
brass don't know what they're talking about.
Wow. Was there a reason why he couldn't use the legs?
He's just too heavy.
Damn.
He's got to rely on that hovering functionality. Like the Dom, like the regular Dom, can at least walk if it needs to.
Yeah.
But mainly you're going to see those things hovering and skating all over the place,
Right.
which I love.
Yeah. It feels like Armored Core.
Exactly. Any like fast-paced mech that just skates along the ground, I love.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's going to beat like the nice heavy footfalls of one of these giant machines for me, but I mean that comes close as a second favorite.
Right.
What was the other one I was thinking about? Oh, okay. Different versions of the Gelgoog, dude. The Marine and the Jaeger.
The Jaeger.
The Jaeger is my favorite version of that suit, bar none.
Let me check it out. What we got for
Yeah.
Goog. Jaeger. Which one was this one in?
He showed up in War in the Pocket in the space sequences.
Really?
Yeah. Just a few flashes here and there, nothing major, but man, what you did see of him, he was perfect.
He's got an interesting crest on his head.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool. The red and like dark maroon color scheme is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Anyways, to get back on topic of what I was talking about, I remember in the first film, EO was a bit insufferable.
Right.
And he was a bit of a bitch.
Kind of a prick.
Yeah. Kind of a bastard, for lack of a better term. But in this one, like, I feel like I remember at the tail end of the movie, I think he got better from what I remember. Because I remember liking his character,
right?
Like before he got the Atlas. It wasn't just the Atlas that made me like him. I remember like he was like a jackass at the front. Right. And then of course as the movie progressed on, I was like, okay, like I think he's kind of like rounding out a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. As best he can.
As best, exactly.
Given the circumstances.
Right. And in this film, like, I mean, I don't want to say pompous, but he does have a little bit of an ego. Because like obviously he's like the pilot of the Atlas, which I mean, like I feel like anybody would be like, oh, who, me?
Right. As opposed to being a child, this is a grown man.
Right.
Who is more than willing to tout his status as a Gundam pilot amongst the crew.
So, I mean, again,
asking for special treatment from the mechanics.
Right. You know, again, there are certain things that I feel like if I was in the same position, I probably would act that way. Not wholeheartedly, but I feel like
not to the extent he does. I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah. But if I am, you know, piloting one of the most expensive, nicest one around, I probably would walk around being like, no, please prioritize the most expensive, nicest one. You can fix the other ones later, but like
the one that works.
Yeah, right. Please, let's make sure my railgun works because that's important to me. Nobody else
to still be able to use the thing after taking one shot.
Exactly.
The thing is just does not work for most of the film after it's been used extensively.
Well, you know, it feels like it's trying to do something new,
right?
Like it's bridging primitive technology with
it's brand spanking. Got to work out the kinks. Right.
So hey, bound to happen sometimes. But the reason I'm saying that is like I remember him being like not a good guy in the film,
right?
But then like during this film, I've kind of grown to like him a little bit more. I think it's the fact that he also is like developing this interesting relationship with what was her name again? Carlisle.
That was her last name.
Yeah, I forgot her. Hold on, let me look at it. I got
yeah.
Let me get the characters here.
Shit.
There is this this other Gundam pilot, and she is, as you can imagine, rather attractive, and is also like kind of funny.
Shares his taste in music.
And is kind of like has some banter with him, whatever.
Right.
And they kind of develop this cool relationship. And I can't seem to find the character.
Damn. Okay. Well, Carlisle, she is.
All right.
And shall remain.
I have a lot of the characters here. I'm having to scroll through to find her for some reason.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, so as the movie progresses on, I'm starting to realize like his buddy, the mechanic guy, like that little trio they have where it's EO, the mechanic, and Carlisle. Again, can't remember her name.
I want to say the mechanic's name is Eugene.
Yeah. Let me type this in.
Something like that.
Let's type in character. Well, if
you'd think we hadn't just watched the film.
Well, I mean, you know,
Cornelius, that was his name.
Cornelius. What a name.
Right. I can only ever think of a scientist whenever I hear that name.
Yes.
Where did that even come from? I can't even. Like, you can't excuse naming someone that nowadays, I don't think. Unless it's...
It's like a
middle-
family name.
Yeah.
Bianca.
Ah, that was
Got it. It was E.O. Fleming, Bianca Carlisle, and Cornelius Kaka. But anyways, so that little trio of them, like...
One group of stooges.
Right. They... I really grow to like them as the movie moves on, and I start to really like. I remember in the first film, feeling conflicted about my emotions between the two, because like they're both, Daryl and EO are both fighting for two different sides, two different factions. Neither one of them are like really good, because like EO does a really good job of like being a jackass
Right.
towards like people that are like kind of what are they called whenever they're like damaged from war?
Oh,
They're like wounded warriors of some kind. It's like they're disabled from their service. And so he's like, really mean and rude to them in a way. Like, and it's like
he forgoes the fact of like displaying any niceties or formalities between them, like as opponents in a war.
Right.
And he straight up makes fun of the fact that he's a cripple.
and it's like, and so at the start of that, I also can't really get behind what Zeon's doing.
Right,
and
of course.
And so, but I feel bad because I'm like, this person is handicapped.
Yeah.
And he also is like, he's doing the commands of his higher ups, and
he's had a real rough time of it.
He doesn't feel like a bad character.
Oh no,
for all intents and purposes. But dude, we've already talked about the first movie. I won't get into it. I'm starting to recount things that happened.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, holy shit, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So like I start to feel really bad for Daryl. But in this movie, it's like I think even though despite all of what happened, he feels freer in this movie, and I think there's still some things he's going through.
Yeah.
But I feel like they really focus on EO and like him kind of being a better character. And like I still feel for Daryl, but in like a different way. And I feel like both sides of the coin now have like kind of chilled out, as opposed to what, like at least for those two characters, have kind of simmered down, as opposed to like how awful they were.
Right, we're seeing the major extremes in that first go around.
Yeah, kind of go away a little bit. And I can kind of see both sides.
You
of the
better
coin.
believe if they ever see each other again, though.
Oh no,
it's gonna be on site.
Yeah. So, anyways, I really enjoyed the film. I loved this, and I thought it was fun. Lots of really cool fight sequences.
Oh yeah.
I think the Atlas got a lot of good screen time. And I just love that suit so much.
How about that Spartan?
Super cool.
I will never get over how much I enjoy the design of the frigates.
Yeah.
For the Federation.
Super cool.
Each major ship from each major series is always like the coolest.
Yeah.
Like all the way back to the White Base.
No, White Base is
up
iconic.
to the Albion, to the Nail Argama.
Yeah.
So cool.
Really nice.
I'm just trying to remember which one exactly it is from Stardust Memory, because that ship, dude.
Let's see.
Easily my favorite design next to the Spartan. Because the Spartan still is like within that 1 year war era of Federation frigates, like similar to the White Base, but taken to the extreme in like every regard. They had this thing spec'd out for any type of situation you could think of. Like I'm talking better anti-air defenses, beam weaponry, like aside from the main cannons. It's beautiful.
It was called the Birmingham class
Oh, yeah.
battleship.
man.
Was a star. Was a space warship that appears in the OVA. Stardust and
So
Ray.
good.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Green Wyatt. Gosh, you got even all the specs here.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
They got everything listed.
Super cool. But yeah, the ship design was really good. I love the fact that like I love a good like multi-functionality thing,
Mhm.
and I love like the front like landing strip, like I guess like they would be
Like the compartments just above the main hangars.
right. Yeah, I guess that's what it's like. There's like the hangar area.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 like launch pods on both sides of those, like these like fins that shoot out.
Yeah.
And I love that like they can be like little transport things that
Mhm.
I think is super cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it really does feel like they have like it feels like a ship that like has crew in it. Like it
Mhm.
has like the different like fighter pilots inside as well. Like
Yeah.
it just
gun
feels
tank hangar. Dude.
yeah, it's super
I
cool.
love that part.
I love that.
At one point, the ship's being assaulted by a bunch of like flight type goofs,
Yeah.
and one gets the bright idea to use the ship as cover against one of its own mobile suits by flying in between both hangar bays. Unbeknownst to him, though, there is a third hangar bay that houses the gun tanks, which are. I don't know what the hell they beefed them up with. Those things have been juicing, bro.
Yeah, they're juicing
This
hard.
particular version of the gun tank is easily my favorite. But at that point, the hangar door opens, and he just gets that 1 split-second look of the thing that's about to blow him to smithereens.
Oh, shit.
And it fires off both main cannons, and it is beautiful. A wake of art.
Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think there was a single suit design I didn't like in this entire series. They just kept everything, like, super well designed and good.
Yeah, it feels very in-universe, all of the stuff. Like, none of it feels... I guess better yet, everything feels reminiscent of the original version of it.
Cut from the same cloth.
But definitely prettied up
Mm-hmm.
for the modern era.
Yeah. Just think of a GM, that bog standard doofy looking motherfucker.
Yeah,
with a bit of nice embroidery in the way of extra armor and thrusters.
Right.
Better weapons. That little pea shooter.
Yeah. I'm looking at pictures of the Atlas Gundam, and man, I also just love the color scheme.
Oh, yeah.
It's white, black with like this yellow gold trim around it, and super
good
cool
stuff.
There's a model here, and it's the one that's like the full suit with the railgun, the skis, the
Right.
rocket skis,
The sled.
and the shield, the
shield.
the shield, not the shield. Yeah, and it's a looks like a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, of course.
So yeah,
Quite the armory at its disposal.
right. So kind of the premise of this this movie is this is after the 1 Year War, or is this like
Right at the tail end of the final engagement where the war has ended, quote unquote, and a bunch of pockets of Xeon remnants are just still duking it out.
Would you say there's a war in those pockets?
Yeah, probably. It's the
I
war
had
in
to.
their pockets that they would never let go of.
But not the waka in their pocket.
No.
That's different entirely.
Wockets be absent.
I got the waka in my pocket. Sorry, I got really derailed there.
Yeah.
Anyways, the kind of the premise of this is there is this like secret society.
The South Seas Alliance.
Yeah.
That was at one point allied with the Federation. in the 1 Year War,
Right.
but has since declared its autonomy. Doesn't that sound familiar? Not many folks want to stick around with the Federation, it would seem.
Yeah.
Wonder what that says.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well.
Right. Although, unfortunately, they have gone the way of a religious extremist scenario.
Yeah, they definitely look like a cult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, when you look at Xeon on the surface, you're like, wow, you look an awful lot like fascist
certain
Germany.
Yeah.
At a certain point in time in history.
They definitely went along the lines at the tail end of the war there.
So the fact that this like religious zealot group is a splinter group of, the Earth Federation, I'm like, man, Earth Federation, what is it, EF?
ESF. Wait, no.
EFSF?
Yes.
Have a real fine way of like making, like churning out the worst groups of people.
Right. Federation just kind of sucks at their job.
Yeah. Everything that you touch turns to psychotic.
Right. And bad.
Bad. Just real bad. So they're
you love kids, but you just can't raise them right.
No, you cannot. All you do is just slap them. You just hit them.
You either shove them out into space against their will because of overpopulation, or you just
you just can't.
You just can't.
You can't give them a break.
Parenting is not your strong suit.
Shinji. Sorry, I had a little in my throat there.
Right.
Anyways,
you just gotta hope that slap lands you with an Amuro and not a Shinji.
You're right. You're right. But it seems like South Seas Alliance definitely the Shinji of the situation. Right. So they're kind of whole. What is their whole like main objective? I know at the end we get the big reveal, but like before that, what are they trying to work for right now? I know that they have their own autonomy, but like, are they?
They're probably going to declare war on the Federation, especially after the conflicts that have like transpired.
Right.
But other than that, I would say it's mainly the spread of their doctrines and whatnot.
I see.
Through their leader, Levan Fu.
The crazy thing is that, is her name Claudia, or is that the other girl?
No, that's Claudia.
Yeah, Claudia. So the first love interest that Io falls in love with, or I say falls in love, kind of has affections for,
right?
In December Sky is Claudia, and didn't they have like a pretty long standing relationship, or was like an official thing or something
for a while? Yeah, but I mean it had gone sour.
I see.
By that point,
right? But I think he still had hopes.
Right.
I think he still had feelings.
Still worried about her.
And then she like dropped off the face of the earth, and of course now is like following this cult of sorts.
Right. Got picked up.
Right. And then we get some further exposition at the end of this film that goes into some details from the old lady who has the same like necklace, like incense holder as like other people that are in that group. So it kind of feels like something seems a little sus.
Right, there's a connection here.
She's like,
what's your game, old hag?
She's like a higher up, but not like a captain of the ship. But like, there's like they always give her like special treatment as if she's like some sort of like person of import.
Right. Probably part of the Moor Brotherhood.
Right. But then she starts to expand upon like how what are they called?
The South Seas Alliance?
No. The special
new types?
Yeah, the new types. How new types are made or whatever.
Through the laboratory, she starts shelling out the deets. As far as what the South Seas Alliance is up to and why they're trying to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, used to be a new type researcher at a laboratory.
Right.
You can imagine how well those turn out for everybody involved.
It feels an awful lot like John in the Spartan program.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the vibe that I get.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm like,
doesn't turn out nearly as well.
No. I think definitely Master Chief does a better job of handling his emotions than this guy does.
In the sense that he barely has any.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's blow shit up.
I need a weapon. Give me gun.
What is the bomb quote when he pushes it off?
What if you miss?
I won't.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, it starts to feel like that sort of thing. We have this old lady who's been like probably testing on children or people
Mm-hmm.
to try and make them be a better new type, or even like establishing what new types are in the world, or
Right.
harboring some sort of special ability.
The real experimental stuff that is real bad.
Right. So now we got this guy. He's this bald guy who apparently has like telepathic abilities now,
Right.
and he can like, and obviously he's
able to convince and or control these people
Right.
to follow his cause.
right, or I guess just by the sheer fact of like speaking in their mind makes them feel a certain way, or has a way of connecting with people. And there's a shot like at the end of the film where like there's this girl who's like standing there like crying, and she's like, I can hear, what did she call him, the priest, or did she call him like I can hear his voice,
Right.
the holy whatever. And it's like she like is like really like it feels it feels like a privilege.
Right.
Like not everyone gets to have this, and so the fact like or maybe so, but like, or maybe you have to be like
showing extreme reverence.
right, and of course it's right next to Claudia, so it's like, man, she's just really hooked into. They're all just like,
Right.
like just like staring up at him
Yeah.
as he's just like standing there in front of this altar or something, or like this unit, this
the Psycho-Zaku.
right, and it's like, oh man, we're getting into some Kool-Aid territory here
Right.
real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course the movie ends, and I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
dude,
And that's been it.
I want more.
Since 2017, that's all we got.
2017. So, is there a continuation of like the manga? Is there
Yeah.
something like? Is there
Yeah, the
something
manga's gotten pretty far along.
really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's ever come back after the mangaka's hiatus.
Yeah, we read a little bit about it, and apparently he had tendonitis, and he had to take a bit of a sabbatical.
Rough stuff. I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
Because, man, I really do not want this to just
yeah.
be another berserk
Oh god,
situation.
please no. Anyways, it said the article we had read basically said that they had, because of his condition, they had to
Postpone any further animation for it.
and of course, as you'd imagine, I'm guessing Bandai or whomever is in control of the
Right.
Gundam IP. They were like, okay, let's
Can't
go ahead
afford to wait. We got to keep this train going.
and, right.
What's
let's-
next?
Yeah, the money that we would put into it, let's go ahead and put into something else, which is probably how we got Hathaway, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it Hathaway
Sucks.
in 21?
I believe so, yeah.
So,
21 or 22.
and that was the next big entry, right?
The next big thing. After that came The Witch from Mercury, which I believe just finished up, I want to say. But still haven't gotten around to finishing that one yet.
Is that a show?
Yes.
Interesting. Is that like a UC show, or is it a whole new? Like
Oh, no, it's its own thing.
fun.
Yeah.
Have
Got
we-
some pretty good designs.
Is there anything else out,
No,
or anything new? I guess in the past year or two.
as far as I know, it's only been Witch from Mercury, but they did announce a new CG series that they're
That's
gonna be working
okay. So
on.
that's what I'm talking about. So I forgot that. I knew there was something new that I was forgetting to think
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
When, do we know what that is yet?
I forgot the title, but it's looking to be a new spin on what MS Igloo did way back when.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, it looks super good.
If there is any way that I can see a new iteration on the Hildolfer, dude, I'll pay whatever I have to. I love that thing.
Maybe.
I was really debating tackling that next.
Let's see. I was hoping to find. These are all like the Gundam like models. New Gundam series.
Mm-hmm.
What we got? A Witch from Mercury. Okay, well.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
I know they still have the trailer for it out, but let me see if I can't find that real quick, actually. But yeah, Igloo would be pretty cool to check out, methinks.
I remember
CG's a bit dated by today's standards, but
Oh, Requiem for Vengeance.
Oh yeah. What a fucking title.
Yeah. Is a 6-episode miniseries that takes place in the Universal Century.
Oh.
During the 2023 Anime Expo Industry Panel, Bandai announced the new anime project called Mobile Suit Gundam Requiem for Vengeance. With around 30 minutes of runtime per episode. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. It's looking like it's going to be taking place from the Xeon point of view.
Cool.
Might be following a specific pilot.
I wonder. So I'm guessing.
Oh my God.
What,
okay.
What?
I know why I didn't mention this at first, but I just saw that they are working on a new Seed movie.
No, stop it.
Yeah, they sure are. Oh, God.
Why do we have more of that? Why do we have more of that and not more of Thunderbolt?
I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, no, I don't know. Let's see, because it was still like super popular, so I can't really put it past them. It's just that I specifically won't be satisfied with it.
Right. The interesting thing about this new series that we're talking about, Requiem for Vengeance, is I'm pretty sure it's entirely made in Unreal Engine. So like even though it's CG, like it looks as good, as like most modern video games, like cinematic trailer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like whereas Igloo might have aged a little poorly in the CG department, like because of how it's rendered and how, it may or may not look good.
Yeah.
This has that certain touch to it where like textures feel authentic.
Mm-hmm. Whenever it got to that first shot, like in the cockpit, dude, I thought I was looking at a real person for a second.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's like
this can't be the live action movie that they've been working on, right?
I don't think so, but I mean, the thing is, like, there's clips of it where you can like see him holding a watch, and there's like and he has gloves on,
mm-hmm.
and the gloves have that like kind of like
almost leathery texture.
Yeah, leathery texture to him on the inside of the hand, but also like the kind of like brushed leather, like the roughness of like the fingers,
mm-hmm.
and like the metal on the watch is just reflecting. Like it's like all these like things where like previous animation CG specifically,
right? Couldn't quite capture so well.
Like the textures of things just looked a bit weird, or shading and things like that. Right. Whereas like this, it's nailing all those things. So I mean, it's still going to look animated, but I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, obviously, Unreal Engine, surprise to no one, has been shocking everybody with just how amazing and phenomenal it looks.
Right.
But you're right. There's a clip when in the trailer where he's in a cockpit. I'm assuming it's a he, and it has the whole suit on with the visor and everything, and you're just like everything just looks tip top.
Mm-hmm.
So
after seeing this, man, part of me wishes they would take a break for a second. They're just churning so much stuff out. Like they've got a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
Coming down the pipeline, I'm wondering how they're pulling it off. Other than the fact that Gundam is like one of, if not the most popular series down there.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a number of factors. Like, I think Hathaway was I don't want to say it was like a smash out success, but I think it was done really well.
Oh, yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if it is done well. And of all the different franchises, I'm pretty sure Gundam's got some money
for sure
throw around. So to be
You
honest,
kidding me?
Over the years they haven't been afraid, I feel like, to do something new or different.
Right.
So this,
if G Gundam was an indication.
Yeah. Or just even like we've been talking about Igloo. Like Igloo in and of itself is like, it's different,
Right.
but it's like it is
Still cool.
It's still cool. And even what we just watched, Bandit Flower. It is like traditional anime.
Oh yeah.
But it has its own feel about it. And so the fact that they're doing something with Unreal Engine, I'm not like, oh my God, how would you
Right.
do that? It's like, I don't know. That just feels like,
It's
okay,
nothing
yeah.
mind blowing, but it's definitely something.
Right. Something new, something different, but they're continuing the series. I think they're also trying to pave a way for new people to get into mech anime that maybe not have. And I think that, obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they're taking a lot of inspiration from like a lot of the guys on YouTube now that can make like full Warhammer 40K movies
Oh yeah.
in Unreal Engine or whatever.
So daz,
and
bro.
and it's just
That motherfucker's
phenomenal. Or like you've showed me a bunch of, I think the Halo guys or whatever they do, I think they do what's it called? The Steam engine. The Valve
Source Filmmaker.
Source Filmmaker. I think they use something more like that for that. But regardless, like you're able to take like a franchise and like make something that people are like, for a fan made CG film made in some sort of thing.
This does more justice to this franchise than anything
right.
the actual company has put out
So
as of late.
If I'm being optimistic or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised like people there are like, yo, guys can like do that and make it pretty well. We can do something like that too. We can try something new and have some fun. Why not? We got money. We're Gundam.
Right.
I could throw a couple thou out this guy's way and make something cool.
We got mobile suit money.
Right. We got mobile suit money. I don't know if you've heard of me. I've been around for 40, 50 years or whatever.
Right. Few decades.
Yeah. Right. So anyways, but also at the same time, like, I think they're, I mean, we're also in a day and age now where like we have a new Armored Core game coming out in just about a month.
You, this could be the resurgence.
So what I'm saying is like it's not planned, but like what if like over the past year or so, I know in our circle at least, we've been having more conversation about mech or Gundam or whatever. I would consider myself a new fan of like Gundam and like the whole franchise. I'm nowhere near as long a fan as you, or even probably a majority of the fan base for this. Yeah. But like, I'm invested now. Like I've seen a handful of stuff. I love it. It's interesting. It's great storytelling.
He's been successfully converted.
I mean, like I've seen my fair share of stuff, and I've been like, you know what? This is like I see the appeal. I see why this is a franchise that's been going on for decades.
Oh yeah.
And it's beloved by so many because it is a for lack of a better comparison, it kind of works the same way like the Godzilla does. Godzilla is like this lovable character, this lovable format,
right? And
like you can just like stick him in this format and like do something in like this kind of arc. You can spice it up, add a little more characters, add a little more monsters. You can do your thing, and it's like, and
somebody out there is gonna love it.
You're right, and it's like. Yeah, it's a Godzilla
Everybody loves
movie.
Godzilla.
it's like Gundam has this. I mean, probably more in a serious tone than like kind of fun like Godzilla is. But like you can make a Gundam show, and there's a framework you can follow. But as long as like you add some cool characters and maybe some like questionable ethics, and like how things are, and then of course there's always a political structure issue, and like.
Is the main character an adolescent?
Right,
Check.
right. Is there trauma?
Does he often, by way of choice or otherwise, sidestep morality?
Yeah,
check.
So it's like there are things they can follow, and again, but each time they do it, it's a little different, a little more fun, or they do something, So I don't. It's that each different iteration of it feels intrinsically like the rest of it, but at the same time different, unique in its own way.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I think that's really cool, and I think it's very intriguing and enticing. And I think that this new thing is a new, it's just packaged in a new pretty way.
Right.
But I would be surprised if it's kind of the same sort of framework they've been doing for years and years. But anyways, the point that I was making initially was the fact that, again, we're in this new day and age now where like I would consider myself a new fan of mech anime more so than I was in the past. I think I started off with Code Geass and some of the, and I was an Armored Core fan back in the day.
Right.
So like there are like touches of that in the past for me.
A little sprinkling.
That are now growing into something bigger.
Yes, the seeds.
Right. And so like, I mean, I could be talking in like a vacuum here. I don't know what the conversation is on like a global scale or outside of this studio we're in. It could be like we're the only people here that are excited and hyped up about it. But at the same time, I can't imagine that From Software wouldn't dump that much money into making a brand new,
as big a name as they are, and how much like player retention they've garnered over the past couple of years, dude. They're untouchable.
And so again, so at that point, like they are banking on making a new Armored Core game, which is going to probably bring in a lot of like From Software players that have never played an Armored Core game, which
never even heard of it.
Which, may I say,
is criminal.
Breaks my heart, but we won't go there. Could potentially be could spark young people around to fall in love with mech again. And then
I hope so badly.
And then this right here, this freaking Requiem for Vengeance comes out probably, I would imagine. It says
everybody's gonna start waking up this shit I've been shouting about for the past few years now.
I'm just saying. So I'm not trying to discredit you by saying like they're churning out too much. Maybe it's just enough.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm glad they didn't like stop.
You're right.
Like altogether.
You're right. I do. Again,
I'm just worried.
what I will hop on the heels of what you're talking about though is, I do think they're starting different things that I wish they would wrap up.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Bandit Flower, there's obviously a pretty good reason why it can't continue.
Right.
But with like Hathaway, for instance, like I would like to see some continuation.
What's going on with that,
I want to see some continuation with that. I want to see a second movie. I want to see a series. I want to get, because I loved that. I mean, we won't go there. I gushed that movie for too long on this podcast. You should listen to it. It's a great film. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's beautiful. And then, of course, so like I want continuation on that. And then now we got this new thing called Requiem for Vengeance. And I'm like, what is this? Why can't we finish up with the other thing that we had? Why do we got to move on to something new? So anyways, that's my feeling about it.
So many things to look forward to.
Right. Because it's not like they're doing it like year after year. Like at least it is like between Bandit Flower and Hathaway. It was like 3 or 4 years. Now we're talking like 2 years. So who knows? I'm excited. The roadmap ahead looks plentiful with big robots, and I'm kind of living for it. So
blurry, albeit jam-packed.
Right. But plentiful.
There's a few shady figures in there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm okay. If we're going to, now that we've like kind of, is there anything else you want to talk about for the movie itself? Because I'm getting into post-show territory.
Oh yeah, I thought we were like
Okay,
finishing
good.
up.
I was just making sure.
Right.
August.
Mm-hmm.
August is going to be a good
The
month, my friend.
promised time.
We're going to get the new Armored Core game.
I
and
got
we're also,
time off requested for that shit, bro.
Buddy, this guy cashed in. He's
Yes.
like, I ain't having no,
Mm-hmm.
nothing getting in the way of my schedule.
Oh no.
And then we're also getting Bomb Rush Cyberpunk
Yeah.
coming out too, which is like the best. I would say the most accurate spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio
Mm-hmm.
and Jet Set Radio Future.
I've been waiting so long since they announced this for the first time, dude.
Yeah,
It looks perfect.
and we're 3 weeks away. Did it say on Steam?
I think so, yeah.
Which is crazy.
I can't even believe. Like, you'd think they would have had like an announcement, like a release date trailer for it or something, but I haven't seen anything until when we looked at it on Steam.
Right. Maybe at the beginning of August.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else coming out in August that I don't know about? Let's do a quick Google search. Let's look around.
Yeah.
Let's get hyped out here.
Right. Speaking of hype, I've been playing the shit out of the new Final Fantasy.
Oh, dude, he's been going hard.
Right. I had to make up for lost time with the extra 2 weeks it took to get my copy of the collector's edition. But man, that has been it's been super like enjoyable to play through. And it feels like it's about like it's got a satisfying amount of like just time sink and like gameplay in it that I was hoping for. Like,
right.
if I start up a Final Fantasy, I want to be like getting through that within like a few weeks, maybe a month.
Right.
And it's proving to be just the right amount.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember you had played pretty consistently for like you had a whole afternoon off, and you and Chase were chilling out in the living room, and you had played for the better part of a day, and I was like,
the whole day, practically.
Right, and I was like, I think you had like quit the game out, and it's like, oh, you're basically 25% of the way through the game, and I was like, damn,
Right.
I was like, okay, yeah, so
Not
you've
even
been like
halfway.
Yeah. I'm not sure where you're at now, but like you've definitely played
Last I checked, it was 42.
There you go. And I'd say you clocked some hours in the game. So I mean, but the thing is, like you're saying, if it's fun and it's like you're also like progressing like pretty consistently, it's like doesn't feel like you're grinding or anything like that.
I haven't felt the need to grind, thankfully. There hasn't been like the first time I died was whenever I fought the Liquid Fire mini boss.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It's been nice to see like a bunch of old bosses brought back. The Iron Giant being one of them, dude. That thing was awesome.
I saw that and I was like, man, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that like it feel now again, I have not played the remake of
Final Fantasy VII.
Right. I haven't played the remake of Final Fantasy VII, but I like the look of the gameplay and how that kind of operates.
Yeah.
And from the looks of it, it looks kind of like the 16 kind of plays that way, where it's a little different, but it has the same sort of.
It's definitely similar. I would say it is more along the lines of how 14's combat works.
Interesting. I never played 14 at all.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. That was the boy band adventure game. For all intents and purposes, yeah, with that fancy ass car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about it.
Yeah. That was a weird one. It felt a little disjointed because of all this like tertiary content that they made for it, like that movie.
Yes, you're right.
That explained a few things. But the game itself was still really fun. I liked the way you fought with your team. And they had like all these little combo attacks between each character. But I'm definitely liking 16. It's Very substantial.
Looks
More
really
than I
cool.
was expecting, honestly.
Well,
Remember the first trailer, the Dominance trailer, where it went through like all the summons
yeah.
and had like a little breakdown of how the story was going to progress, because it feels akin to the story structure of Game of Thrones,
Right. You're right.
with the way the characters act and which factions are fighting whom and at what places.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Family struggles.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Clive's mom is a super bitch.
Mega bitch.
I hope she dies.
I don't want you to spoil anything, but like, has she continued to be?
She has remained consistently a bitch.
Got it. What's her deal?
I have no idea. She's obsessed with keeping her bloodline pure.
Then,
Even though she betrayed her fucking family and decided to make off with the Emperor.
yikes.
So yeah,
Maybe there'll be a plot twist later.
poopy on that bitch.
Yeah.
If there is any sort of plot twist in which she is redeemed for these heinous acts, I will not.
No. I mean more so in the fact that like she's actually possessed by some greater evil spirit, and she's like,
Even
you know,
still, man. That ain't gonna be enough for
Right.
me.
Your mother
I'll
was
exorcise that spirit and then I'll
Yeah.
kill her anyway.
your mother was actually killed a long time ago, but this demon took on the form of your mother, and it's been a real bitch ever since.
Damn.
Just
Guiltless.
just gonna
No qualms whatsoever.
The body's gonna explode into this greater demon lord.
Oh my God.
I've been your mother the whole time. You're like, oh, what the hell's happening here?
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, what a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm excited. A lot of cool things coming up, and I think it's gonna be. I'm excited. Oh, and then speaking of, a little tantalizing thing while we're here, while we're just ruminating in this cool discussion right now. We have a friend of ours, and I'm pretty sure it was last episode, or in the past few episodes, we talked about our buddy Myron.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about a great little hysterical conversation we had about Final Fantasy 16.
Right.
And I believe that Dylan actually got him on the phone, got him on the schedule.
Yeah.
So I think that by the time you're hearing this episode, it will be next episode that he will be on the podcast, hopefully.
Yes, indeed.
And I think that either we're just going to shoot the shit and talk about game stuff with him because that is like his wheelhouse.
Mhm.
Very knowledgeable, knows his stuff. Funny guy. I'm
Hours on end.
super excited to have him on the show. Or we may watch something if he feels more inclined to do that.
Right.
You know, we'll watch
It's
something.
either going to be Game Talk or Venus Wars.
Oh, love it. Either way, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, until then, thank you so much for listening. If you're looking to find us, you can go to our Linktree /Ian Wolf, or just type in the Aftermath on all the major podcasting platforms. Or you can simply just go into space, and the podcast is out there. You just got to look hard enough.
You could also dig real deep and summon us, the icons of audio.
Oh, yeah, that's a hard one, though.
So that we may...
Right. You have to first conquer the icon itself, and then once you harness its power, then the podcast will be bestowed upon you.
Yeah. We haven't come up with many scenarios where you actually have to like fist fight us, but I think that'd be pretty fun. Just a 1v2.
Maybe I'll look into that. Oh, 1v2. There you go. Yeah.
Cage match.
It'll be a tag team match, but only Dylan and I can tag team out.
Right. You get no tag.
Once I get tired, I'll tag Dylan, and then of course
you got to deal with me.
Yeah. You have to out. You have to have. You have to have
who's gonna win this?
You have to have enough. You have to have
audience's favor.
To have enough stamina to outweigh both of us, and then I will personally hand you a plaque with the gives you a trophy that says you're the champion.
Ass kicker supreme.
Yeah, you can have the podcast whenever you want it.
Right.
You just gotta phone me up and I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm. Golden ticket type shit.
But anyways, thank you so much for listening, and until next time,
See you.
bye bye.